El Programa Nacional de Becas Hacer de McDonald's ha beneficiado a más de 17,000 estudiantes con más de $35 millones en becas otorgadas. Esta es una historia de generaciones de estudiantes que les mostraron a los que dudaban que podemos hacer más. Porque se sabe que la educación de uno ilumina el camino para los que siguen. Esta es una historia de progreso. Y el siguiente capítulo lo escribes tú. Aprende más en mcdonalds.com/hacer.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Double, double, toil and trouble, heterosexual romance burn, and female friendship bubble. Calling all witches, brujas, women, and gender non-conforming individuals who stare at the moon. Sunday, February 15th. Go Touch Grass will be convening its coven for their annual Galentine's Day event at Love's Club in Brooklyn from 3 to 6 p.m. There will be comedy, there will be tarot, there will be spells and flash tattoos and a drag performance by Dee Opulence and other witchy things that will also be fun. So grab your girlies and head to the link in the show notes to snag your tickets today. God, that's actually hard to do.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Millie Tamaris.
And I'm Elise Morales.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Elise and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can literally do anything else with your time.
And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear more, we've got a Go Touch Grass Patreon already up and running with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spinoff series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral Discord from the past. And I'm reminding myself now, this week's Patreon was, of course, about the Queer Eye drama, which I looked into. The Fab Five are fighting. They're doing it all on Instagram. There's a lot of tagging, commenting, not tagging, these kinds of things.
And I think our conclusion is, as we step into post-Bad Bunny Super Bowl, as we step into Woke 2.0, all genders are messy.
Yeah.
All genders are messy. All gender expressions can be messy bitches.
Yeah, and can have really troubled group dynamics. So
look into that. Speaking of troubled group dynamics, check us out on YouTube, where we have full video episodes every week with extra moments you don't get in the audio. Also, check out our website, guys. All the episodes will be uploaded this week. It's been a tough, crazy weeks, but I promise you, we're going to get to them.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
The thing is, we've been working so hard for our upcoming Galentine's Day party, February 15th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Love's Club in Brooklyn. We're doing a witchy, fun Galentine's party. It's going to be part comedy show. There's a drag performance. There's a tarot reader. There's flash tattoos. We're going to do a spell.
Yeah,
we're summoning Melissa Fuentes.
We're summoning Melissa Fuentes has a twin sister. And using our Latina Bruja powers, are summoning her to come on the pod because we know she has some shit to say.
Yeah.
If anyone
and we want to give her the platform.
And we want to give her and we want her to come on Latina to Latina.
Yeah.
And come on our podcast and say, Hermana to Hermana, you are the Hermana.
Yeah.
Melissa Fuentes. And we summon you. And we'll use the power of Cardi B. And I'll tell you this, and I can say it. And we're talking dark woke. We're talking woke 2.0.
Yeah.
Our tarot reader is a queer Native American person. So we're going there.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
we're leaning in woke 2.0. I'm
Mhm.
so excited. They're gonna do Mayan Oracle reading cards if you want.
Mhm.
It's gonna get crazy.
Mayan Oracle reading.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? And you're gonna get comedy?
It's
You're
dark
gonna get
woke.
musical comedy about tampons?
From
Hashtag
Marsha
Marsha.
Belska. Marsha Belska.
From Marsha Belska.
Marsha Belska.
Yeah, let's make her ethnic too. Speaking of people we're making ethnic, today in our studio, we have returning guest, host of Abolish Everything show on Nebula, who instead of getting married in the middle of a Bad Bunny Super Bowl, got married in the middle of Trump's indictment.
Yes. Yep.
Let's welcome back to Grass Nation, Chandler D.
Hello. It was a coincidence that it was during the Trump indictment.
No,
not a part of it.
No,
Yep.
So the Super Bowl couple, basically, they invited Bad Bunny to his wedding,
I saw that.
And then Bad Bunny's like, how about you get married at the Super Bowl? So you invited Trump to your wedding.
Yes, logically it follows.
And he said, how about you get married at my indictment?
We really wanted him to officiate, actually, but this was the compromise.
For anyone who's not remembering from the last time Chandler was on the pod, Chandler did go to the courthouse to get married on the same day that Trump was being indicted.
We were scheduled first. He showed up after we had already scheduled our event.
I mean, if you see the 30 pieces of content about it, y'all know the story.
I tried to leverage that. Turns out it's not replicable. You cannot build a whole career off of doing that once.
Okay, but speaking of things you're building your career off of, things you're leveraging, things you're posting about, you are here promoting the second season of Abolish Everything, your show on Nebula. Millie's been on it. I've been on it. Everyone's talking about it.
Everyone knows anyone.
Everyone who's anyone is talking about it. How's season 2 going?
It's going great. And yes, both of you are on this second season. Both of you crushed. I'm so excited for people to see y'all's sets. If you did not hear my previous episode, you know that Millie and I had a controversy the last time.
Starting controversy, so it comes up in the transcript for SEO purposes that Chandler Dean was beefing with hashtag Millie Tamaris. It's all so dark. Continue with the controversy.
First of all, I feel like I'm the only person who's gotten into anything remotely resembling a comedy beef with Millie and lived to tell the tale.
No, you know why? But you know why you live to tell the tale is because I accepted responsibility where it was my fault. And and I'm saying, like, you did ask me. You asked me 4 times, but technically you asked me only twice.
You asked me 4 times.
Okay, but you asked me. Okay, but we established that the first 3 times didn't count. So
it's
you
true.
really only asked me once.
Yes,
and I did it. So that's why you live to tell the tale.
We're even.
And I came on.
Yes.
Was wronged again, but we're not.
Whoa, no, we don't.
We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
But Millie's awesome on this season of the show. Both of y'all's episodes. When is this coming out? Do we know? Do we have any idea?
It'll come out this Wednesday.
Okay, great. So they're still upcoming in the next few weeks. So check them out.
Subscribe to Nebula now.
Yes, please.
To Nebula
you
now.
And the Swedish teens.
Yes.
Have Nebula.
We have a lot of sort of public transit focused teenagers who currently are watching the show. But if comedy fans would watch the show, that would be even better.
Focused.
But yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's beautiful.
Listen, I'm not inside of me there's a public. No, I can't even finish that joke. I was gonna say inside of me there's a public transit teenager, but I meant like my inner child.
Inside of me, within me. Let's say, not inside of me.
Within me there's a public transit. Okay, so Chandler. My next question is, you referred to our comedy beef.
Yes.
You have made things right with the world and had me on. So good for you. We can we can bury that hatchet. Let's uncover a new hatchet.
Oh my God.
No. I just am curious because we were talking before and you were saying how your clips are performing better and stuff. So I'm curious about what now that you're on season 2, what have some of the surprising online conversations about your show popped up, or like any online conversations or things you were expecting, things you weren't like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I feel like we never know what's going to like catch people's attention, generally speaking. And so, like, for example, Allison Leiby abolished chiropractors in a recent episode. And what we did not realize is that there's like so many people who like it's the first thing they've ever seen on TikTok that wasn't pro chiropractor.
Yeah.
Like, the pseudoscience of chiropractors has a huge stronghold over so many algorithms.
Yeah.
And so like this one kind of like popped off everywhere because it was like so many people were like, thank God finally the tide is turning on this. So I did not really think that any of our sets would be like actually, fermenting a movement of pushing the culture forward. I thought they'd just be funny, but that was one that was interesting. And then one we were expecting was that Sabrina Wu accused Gianmarco Ceresi of being gay on an episode, and of course everyone agrees.
Yeah. Well,
so that was an unsurprising public conversation.
Alphabet allegations.
Yeah, he kind of, leans into the alphabet allegations.
Yes.
And like whatever. So that is like an existing conversation, and to have a clip. I mean, but where else would there be a forum if not for this debate-themed comedy show?
I know. This is kind of like what I think people like about it. And, again, we're kind of feeling out like what works as we go along. But I think what's kind of fun is like, if someone has a take in a comedy set and you're like, I kind of disagree with that, then you go in the comments and you flame them, and it's a very negative and sad experience for everyone involved. It's fun when someone says something in a set and then we have someone on the panel immediately address it. And so then it's like, whose side are you on? And it's more positive because it's like some people like the comedian's take, some people like the responding take. And so I feel like it leads to more of a conversation, but it all feels like it's all reasonable discourse. It's okay to disagree with the comedian. You don't have to also hate them personally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is all part of the fun game we're playing.
Yes.
Like, it helps them to understand, it's like, we're actually all joking. Like, people are saying things that they really think.
Yes.
I stand by what I abolish, but also I'm not going to actually fight with a real person about the doomsday clock. And like, you don't need to be mad at me if you think that if you like it, that's also fine. We're all joking. It's a comedy show. We're having fun.
I just put up the clip of me abolishing the white thumbs up emoji. Basically being like, I feel like it's weird when white people are like, oh, I'm white, by the way, in their emojis.
I think it's okay because also too the colored emoji thing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You off as I cut your white experience off. But
that's what we're here for.
But I'm like, the thing is that I've experienced with the colored emoji is that white people aren't in touch with how white they are or their own skin tone in general.
Yes.
Because I have friends who are like, I'm like, why is your emoji so dark?
But this is the thing.
I always go yellow. I'm always going yellow.
I completely agree with you. And that's why I'm like, white people should not be getting to choose the skin tone of their emojis to begin with, because everyone's going to think, oh, no, I'm olive skinned, like they're going to like have like a slightly darker tint and it's uncomfortable and people have the conversation about it. Stick with the Simpsons.
I'm yellow.
From my point of view. But this is
so that white power TikTok got into it. And
well, it's like they come at it from both sides, right? Because some white people are like, this isn't funny, I'm feeling attacked, whatever. And then, of course, there is, like, I acknowledge, some people are like, oh, you think, like, white people should just be the default then? Like, white skin is the default
I get
skin,
that. No, because
right?
that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, so the default, if you don't have the skin color, whatever, then the default is
exactly.
So if white people use yellow, then that erases, you know.
The implication is all these other people are different, but white people are normal. I totally hear that and understand that. Someone left a comment accordingly on the Instagram clip, and I replied.
Was me, and I started.
No! I knew I still had to
go. Welcome to No Touch.
Dark woke begins.
So literally, and here I was celebrating the return of woke. I'm the first one to go.
You're the first one to go. It's always the calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
That's
welcome to the Grass Nation Tribunal.
Yeah, welcome to
you
the
have been found guilty.
You have found guilty of emoji-colored discourse.
We're literally getting every white alt comedian, executing them one by one on the podcast this year. Yeah.
Yes. Every white alt comedian.
You're going to be booked for years.
Yeah. See, Z-Way just makes them uncomfortable for 30 seconds. We will murder you.
Yes. Put it into practice. Yes.
Where is Melissa?
Z-Way vaults out.
Well, at some point, does Melissa put his Hermana?
All to say, when someone left that
white power.
No. When someone left that comment, I basically just replied, "I'm just joking up here." Like that's a totally valid opinion. Totally. I'm just trying to have some fun.
I'm not sure. I bet you said, "I'm just a cracker with an opinion." Shut it down. Shut it down.
That's my bio.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's your other Nebula show.
That's what I'm just a cracker with an opinion, right? And then everyone's like, "Which one?"
Which opinion or which cracker?
Every episode, it's a new cracker with a new opinion.
You know what? And that is called the Daily.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is called the Daily.
When you listen to the Daily too long, that's what it becomes.
Ezra Klein just rotating crackers with rotating opinions.
Ezra Klein, Chris Hayes, Pod Save America. It's all just crackers with opinions. Speaking of crackers with opinions, guys, let's get to our discourse.
Okay. Okay. It's time. We have to discourse.
It's time. We have to discourse now. The discourses are part of the episode where we just talk about the thing that everyone's talking about and, get into, and again, I'm in the trenches. You guys don't fucking know. I'm in the trenches sacrificing my body, my mental health for you. And and nothing else, like the fact that what we're about to cover, like, it's just gonna, I don't know. I can't even. Chandler, Elise, what do you guys know about Looksmaxxing? Because this is where we're going.
Yeah.
There's a trending tweet, but first, I want to know, what do you guys know about Looksmaxxing?
Isn't it like, my initial instinct is like it's yassifying, but for straight people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yassifying for straight people?
It's like a very online kind of manosphere adjacent practice of trying to like optimize the way that you look, like trying to become the most like symmetrical, and also like it's really gendered, like you want to look like super hyper feminine or hyper masculine.
Right. Yeah.
And the idea behind it is like to be the most attractive version of yourself, because only by being like super by the books attractive in this particular way can you like get ahead or get anything in life. Like all of life is determined by like the symmetry of your face.
And like, yeah, exactly. So,
and they all want to look like handsome Squidward.
And
the men all want to look like handsome Squidward.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Looksmaxxing, the tweet of the week. We got to understand what Looksmaxxing is. And you guys are both right, and I just have to say a lot of this discourse today is me explaining the language of a Gen Z subculture. And I think that in my like step back, like my overview before we dive into this whole language structure is that to me it feels like Spanish, where if a person who doesn't speak Spanish sees a sentence in Spanish, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? But then if you look word by word and you sit and you process it, understanding English, you can understand what the meaning is. That's how I'm viewing this. And that's how we have to view this sentence structure. So I am talking about a language, I am talking about whatever, and I'm also talking about subgenre cultures. We're diving in, guys.
Yeah.
So just to get the official definition, to your point, Looksmaxxing is a term referring to a process of maximizing one's own physical attractiveness, which originated on male incel, involuntary celibate, so like guys who like want to have sex but they can't, message boards in 2010. So that was a word that came out, Looksmaxxing, in 2010s. And I think like a good way to think of it is like they kind of want to bring the 2010s toxic beauty standards that women had about, like it's really about like a big part of it is like jawline.
Yeah.
And the jawline definition.
Yes.
But I feel like when I'm viewing this overview, it's like how some women just have naturally the body type to look perfect in low-rise jeans. And like only a certain percentage of women can achieve that naturally. And it's like now a marker for every other woman in the world to have, like, if you don't have this body, you're not good. Like, they're doing that, but for jawline.
Okay.
So other terms in the Looksmaxxing is soft maxing, because Looksmaxxing is doing what you can to look as good as possible. And good means like really chiseled jawline and like perfect skin or whatever. So soft maxing is a form of Looksmaxxing, but it's more of like getting acne cream, going to the gym, getting a haircut, moisturizing, and I'm trying to think of like soft maxing is like if you're an adult woman, like it's like if people are like, are you soft maxing? It's like, did you get a haircut? Did you do your nails? Like, that's soft maxing.
And like skincare stuff.
Exactly.
And like all that.
And then there's hard maxing, which is, again, some people who perform hard maxing, it's like the more extreme version, right? Practices associated with hard maxing, which is the subculture of Looksmaxxing, is getting implants. So getting like your chin implants or calf implants to make your legs whatever. Limb lengthening, intentionally starving oneself, starve maxing, abusing abusing steroids, roid maxing, using moisturizers to appear more white maxing.
Oh no.
So it's like, you see white maxing, you're like, what is this? But then you're like, I guess, okay.
I will say starve maxing is anorexia.
Yeah, all of this is anorexic, but okay, we're gonna get closer.
Eating disorder maxing.
Exactly. Withholding sexual climaxing in order to boost testosterone. Edging is like a point of like a kind of Looksmaxxing. Bone smashing refers to the act of hitting one's face against objects like a hammer in order to create a chiseled look. So like literally breaking your jaw. While this, like, people say bone smashing as a joke, like people have done it.
So much online stuff is like, it's tongue in cheek and they're joking and they're kidding, but they're not. And it still speaks to the mentality of all the stuff behind it.
So hard maxing, I was like, okay, hard maxing is kind of like Botox, fillers, all that kind of stuff. So like more invasive skin practices. So again, Looksmaxxing, it is again a rapidly growing online subculture with top creators in the space amassing millions of followers. The hashtag on TikTok, Looksmaxx, has over 4.6 billion views. And some of the top influencers in the Looksmaxx community, such as Kareem Shami at Syrian Psycho, has over 1.5 million followers. And another guy who's a Looksmaxxer, Dylan Latham, gets around like 98 million likes and a billion views on their content. So like, even though this is an extreme practice, like a lot of people are watching it. There is on a Looksmaxxing forum, they have about like engaging in Looksmaxxing forums. There's about like 60,000 active English speaking members in this one forum page. And that page gets about 6 million unique visitors a month. So we can say it's like a corner of the internet, but it's like, it's getting big fucking things. And the demographics is young men, teenage boys ranging from 14 to their mid-20s, but some viewers are as young as 10, 11 years old. Even though, again, this is like an ironic thing, whatever, like in 2025, 59% of boys aged 10 to 17 feel pressure to be physically attractive based on these online trends. And if you know a teen boy or a preteen boy or 11-year-old, they know what bone smashing is. They know, like, so another one, like another really light version of Looksmaxxing is also what, like, mewing.
Yes.
Which is like when you...
is like that jaw thing.
That jaw thing, which is basically like sucking your jaw so that your jaw looks more defined, and like certain pose, like that's soft maxing. But like the whole point is that most young boys in America and in the world maybe like know what that is.
Yeah.
And if you think of like over like about 60% of them know what that is, like a big percentage is taking it seriously. Mm-hmm. They're impressionable. They're like, whatever.
Or they don't know how seriously to take it or what's real or what's not. Or like they're kind of joking about it, but also it's still affecting them to think like, oh, I need to have a square jaw or I'll never have a girlfriend. I'll never get a job. Like that's also part of the mentality is that like if you do not do this, you can never recover from not being extremely hot.
Well, and I also think they're just, like all of this effort theoretically to make women attracted to you and no effort whatsoever to do outreach to actual women.
No.
or, if you're a teenage boy, teenage girls, like what, like to understand what they might actually be interested in.
No.
It's all just like, oh, let me go to my chiseled manfluencer to teach me how to be the biggest, strongest guy, and then the biggest, strongest guy will get the most girls.
It's also so strange to me because it's one of those things where it's like, you want to shake like a kid who believes this and be like, look around you. Does every single person you see with a wife and a partner, are they all Looksmaxxed?
Yeah, but like I feel like it's really preying on this thing where when you're young, you don't understand like the reality and like everything feels so big and that your brain is still developing.
Yeah.
And that's why like even for like queer kids, like a lot of the campaign is like it gets better. And it's like you may have a hard time in your life being a teen in high school, being the only gay kid, but like that's not going to be forever. It gets better. Like you may not feel like you're good or hot or whatever, or like, yeah, actually dating in middle school is like who's the hottest in this very small like way. And then, I had a guy in middle school tell me like the hottest guy, he's like, you'd be really pretty if you lost weight. And then I'm like, that really stuck with me. And I like drank carrot juice for like a week and all that stuff. But like, I'm just like, now as an adult, I can look back and I'm like, oh no, that guy liked me and thought I was pretty, but like didn't want to like deal with it because whatever. And also I'm just, but like at the moment, right? So that's also why it's like it gets better and stuff. But like instead of hearing people say it gets better, they are seeing people who are like, here is like what it looks like, the most extreme. And like it doesn't get better. It's going to be like this for the rest of your life. And the only way, whatever, is by doing these things. And I will say, so on the Looksmaxxing thing, another thing too that people are also seeing is like the way that society is right now is affecting these boys like that, right? So in writing for the conversation, senior lecturer and researcher Jamila Rosdahl of the Australian College of Applied Psychology considered the practice to convert young men into the incels a result of TikTok algorithms. Yeah. On the popularity of Looksmaxxing amongst young people overall, she wrote that, quote, where young people feel as they can't control their environment, they may turn to trends like Looksmaxxing as something they can control, attributing several real-world problems such as an unstable economy, an increase in young men struggling to get into relationships. Pediatrician Dr. Milang Agarwal said in BBC interview that Looksmaxxing perpetuates unrealistic physical expectations, prompting disordered eating habits amongst teenage boys.
And that's a lot of what eating disorders are in general, though, is like a desire to like control your environment and control what's around you. And like, it's fueled by beauty standards and all that stuff. But like, that's kind of tale as old as time when it comes to this fucked up stuff is like, you're a kid, you don't know how to control anything, but you're like, oh, I can fixate on becoming Looksmaxxed.
Yeah. Or the thing is like, right? A lot of problems when you're young, you think they're so easy. And you're like, which I have thought this too. And like, I'm sure everyone would point, if I was prettier, I wouldn't have this problem. If I was skinnier, I wouldn't have this problem. If my hair was longer, if my jaw was chiseled, I'd have no problem getting girl. Yeah. And like, when you get older, it's like, oh, actually, like, probably most of your problems are you.
Yeah.
But like whatever. But like, you can't tell a kid that.
No.
Like,
when I was 13, I was really like, I was extremely concerned with the fact that I didn't have huge boobs. And I was like, this is going to be a really big problem for me. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be fighting against that.
And
I don't have
is it a problem, Elise?
I mean, yeah, it's obviously an enormous issue.
I'm like, no, because you figured out some other things and whatever.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. And it's like, yeah, do some people like people with chiseled jawlines? Like, sure, I guess, but like, I kind of want someone who like texts me in a reason.
Yeah, I mean,
and has
like,
engaged with the
there's
idea
a lot
of therapy and
to make up for not having maybe like again full handsome Squidward face.
Yeah.
The other thing that I feel like is happening is the media diet is so different than it was like 10, 15 years ago, where like I feel like we spent so much time in like middle school, high school-ish on social media where you're actually connecting with other people that you know. And there were problems there where you like compare yourself to like the most popular people in school and you're like, why aren't I more like them? But now I feel like, people like kids are not using as much social media, if at all, that's dedicated to connecting with people you've met in real life.
Yeah.
They're either consuming on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, or they like are in Discord channels with closed loop groups of people, or like even using Snapchat is like not the same thing. It's not the same kind of like public forum that it was, where it's like if I posted something stupid on Facebook and a girl was like, ew, she would comment it. And I'm learning.
Yeah.
That
You're more interacting with people from other walks of life. Well, that also too, right? Like, there was a tweet or something that I read on one of our episodes like a year or two ago, where it was like this guy was like, hey, he posted in like an incel forum or something, and he was like, hey, so like I went to community college and there was a guy, like everyone was kind of like nice to me, and there was a guy who like he was balding and he had like a nice girlfriend, and like people didn't care about like the Chad stuff, and like no one talked to, like he was basically like, hey, I went into the real world and like no one gives a fuck about anything that we talked about. And it's also, so then somebody summed it up of like, yeah, this guy actually touched grass and like connected with the world, and is like, it's not like this shit.
Yeah, but if you get a kid when they're super young, and again, like you said, that
show Adolescence that's literally what it talks about.
Middle school is such a particular time, and you can like swoop in and then like swirl them around and make them isolate themselves before they have a chance to realize like, oh, this actually isn't what it is.
This also, I mean, this is something that I feel like has probably existed forever, where it's like when you realize like, for a time you're like, there's this ephemeral concept of girls. How do I get girls to like me? Or how do I get boys to like me? And it's just like this general thing. And you're like, I'm going to do these things because I want this whole population to potentially like me. And in real life, it's like, you got to find a connection with one person at a time, right? How do I get this person to like me? Or not even get them to like me. How do I find someone who will like me based on who I actually am?
How do I find that one special person to get married at Trump's indictment?
Yes, exactly.
Like,
we've got a book. We've coordinated with Trump already. We just need a woman.
But exactly. So, that's Looksmaxxing.
Okay.
And now we're gonna go into what brings us here. Why are we talking about it today? Well, a big, and again, a lot of the engagement they say is ironic, whatever. But one of the more notable kind of popping Looksmaxxing influencers right now is this guy named Clavicular, aka Clav, who is, a lot of the Looksmaxxing, again, because it's a subsect of incel stuff, they do kind of overlap with the more right-wing. It's kind of a lot of rooted in white supremacy and all that stuff too, but like, yeah, it's kind of the right-wing pipeline, right? So we talked about Clav a week and a half or 2 weeks ago on our Patreon, because Clav was part of the Nicholas Fuentes, Andrew Tate Miami trip where they played Heil Hitler by Kanye and got banned from all these things, and then
they started fighting online in a very housewife-ish manner.
You'll hear it next week when we're off for President's Day. So yes.
So Patreon, you'll be hearing more about Clav.
You'll hear more about Clav. But okay, Clav, we talked about on the Patreon. He has about 300,000 followers on Instagram. I think about 750,000 followers on TikTok, 97,000 followers on X, and 170,000 followers on Kick. Kick is the live streaming platform that is like not woke Twitch.
Yeah. So whenever we talk about these guys, there's always some new platform.
So Rumble is the right wing YouTube. Yeah. Kick is, exactly.
Where's Parler? I haven't heard about Parler in a minute.
Parler fell off. I feel like
Parler did
Truth Social ate Parler's lunch.
I think so, because Parler was like the tweeting one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do feel like Truth Social is just him.
But
that's all it needs.
You know what? But also like he hasn't gone. I thought he was gonna go back to Twitter at some point.
No,
he's like
he stayed truthing.
He stayed truthing.
He stayed truthing.
Literally, Elon Musk did everything possible to make it like right wing and horrible and destroyed the whole platform just to get Trump to like him. And now Trump, of course, hates him.
Yeah,
just
but
he
I
hates
mean,
everybody because he's pathetic.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just like, but that's how it fucking goes.
Of course.
The more you make yourself trying to you know what I mean?
You gotta be like
yourself.
Zoran. You gotta not want him to like you, and then he'll like you.
And then
exactly.
he'll have
this is a good lesson
eyes.
for boys and girls as well.
Exactly. When you do your own thing and you're not abashed about it, that is actually
that's the most attractive.
That's the most attractive. That's confidence. Okay.
That transcends everything. Politics.
Exactly. It's just having Riz.
Yeah.
And that's another. We're not gonna go into Riz anyway. Okay.
You got to Rizmax.
Rizmax.
Rizmaxxing.
So Clav does live streams, and the only way I can describe it, because a lot of people kind of shun, and that's why I'm kind of trying to relate it to a millennial audience and like to different audiences, because it's easy for someone to be like, ew, why the fuck would you want to watch a live stream? This is how, I'm sorry, this is how young men consume reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
They watch streamers, right?
Yep.
And the streamers, like, kind of the way that Clav does, some people stream them doing, some people, and streaming is a kind of medium, you know? So like Hassan Piker, he's streaming a news politics show. Speed, which I show Speed, he's streaming, like, he's basically doing like a travel documentary, and he's streaming it 24/7, and like he's getting his like back end people to like post highlights and stuff, but he's streaming like live these kind of produced segments. But Clav is one of those people, and again, that's why he'll be meeting up with other right-wing influencers who also stream so that they can like have overlap or whatever, right? And he has like basically a camera crew that follows him. And again, streaming is reality show, so I think like you gotta view Clav as like kind of like a Honey Boo Boo, like a Snooki, like a Paris Hilton, you know, where it's like people locked into this person and they want to see them do shit, right? So
I'm thinking of him as Honey Boo Boo.
yeah, he's Honey Boo Boo. So again, the right wing pipeline. You have a little boy who thinks he's ugly and he doesn't look like handsome Squidward, so he watches
Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo. Right. He watches Paris Hilton go and do things and see how easy it is for the person that he thinks is like the ideal thing. Like, oh, he's in a club. Like, look at how he talks to girls. Like, I think that's how we have to do it. So it all culminates to this weekend. Clavicular, who's 20, he went to Arizona State University.
Oh my God.
And kind of live stream all his big goings on. But like, you got to view it as like when Paris Hilton, or like, it's like Queer Eye almost, where it's like Queer Eye goes fish out of water into the town. They go to the little party and they give somebody a makeover, whatever. But Clav is kind of doing that. He's going to this college party and he's like this Looksmaxxing and like whatever, right? So it all culminates into this big moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just have you two watch this video.
Great.
Okay.
Just watch the video and tell me what you see.
Okay.
And then I'm going to read the caption. That's clavicular.
The one in the black is clavicular?
Yeah. So did you hear what he says?
No.
No.
He says, you got me by a lot.
Mm.
Okay. Thoughts about what did you guys just see?
Well, so clavicular
Is the
guy in the black.
Yes. An even buffer blonde man with the tank top.
With a little tiny like 80s like Gold's Gym kind of vibe tank top. And he's very he's very muscular on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of tiny head, huge shoulders, tiny waist.
Yeah.
Action figure.
Yeah, very He-Man looking type guy.
And you would say like it was like a meet and greet, like
it looked like a meet and greet. It looked like they were meeting and greeting.
Yeah, and Clav was like, "Oh, you got me by a lot," like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say that Clav, like, I mean, he's a handsome young man, but he's not like full handsome Squidward.
He himself is not Looksmaxxing.
I don't think he's totally Looksmaxxing.
Well, he's the one who does meth to like stay get skinny.
I remember.
Oh yeah, no,
he
Clav
openly
does
uses
meth to keep skinny. Like he Looksmaxxing by doing meth, and he does like the most extreme ones. But like his whole thing, right?
I just was kind of
expecting.
To be
large, right?
Yeah.
No, he's not. His whole thing is the jaw.
I see. Jaw.
The jaw.
But the thing is, I was expecting the jaw to be square. I didn't think it looked that square.
Well,
but I don't want him to hear that because then he's going to do something crazy. So, Clav, if you're watching this, you're fine. Don't do any more stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
So here's
get off meth. Stop taking meth.
Please stop it.
So here's the tweet. Clavicular ran into frat leader at ASU and got brutally frame mugged by him.
Yes.
Okay.
So what do you think this means?
I've seen mogged before. I forget what it means, but based on context, I think it's basically like this guy has a wider frame and therefore is stronger and better than clavicular. And so clavicular has sort of been brutally outdone by this frat leader.
I think you're correct. Mogged is like, yeah, I guess to outdo someone. It's something like that, but I feel like there is like a aesthetic component to getting mogged. Like if someone looks better than you in a photo, they like out-mogged you.
Okay. So mogging derives from a mog. And again, we're talking deep incel shit and like we're seeing how it gets mainstream.
Yeah.
A mog is alpha male of the group. It means physically dominating someone else or looking much better than them. So basically, they're saying that he went to ASU and ran into a frat leader, which already indication that account not run by somebody in America.
Frat leader.
There's
I
also
didn't even catch that.
You can be out-mugged by somebody,
So
and that's when you look better.
out-mogged.
Out-mogged is physical, I guess, and like
it's kind of the same thing, but then people say like frame mogged. Mogging, I guess, can be anything, but mug is specifically refers to your face.
Yeah.
So when you out-mug somebody, that means your face is whatever. Mogging can be anything.
But mogging also seems like it's like masculine, like it's a mask thing, whereas if you out-mugged somebody, like anyone can out-mug somebody else in a photo. It's gender neutral.
I think that mog can be anything too, like anybody too, but it came from a mog.
But it came from this alpha male place, whereas mugged I think just refers to like your
mug,
your face. Okay,
so,
I'm glad that we worked through all that together.
So now that we worked through that, how do you feel?
I'm like, I don't understand what like why this person seems to find this funny and interesting. And I'm like, is the idea that clavicular like can never encounter someone who's stronger than him? Like he's supposed to be the strongest guy in the world.
He clavicular doesn't look that strong.
No.
I also really can't stress enough how kind of bizarrely proportioned, and I'm sorry to say he's a handsome young man, but the guy who's frame mogging clavicular looks very strange.
Yes.
Yeah, but like if we're talking about incels, we're talking about what it means to be masculine. They want like this extremely
he's a full
shouldered
inverted triangle, but his waist is so tiny.
And 13 million views this tweet, the frame mogged. So all weekend, you guys, like, this was a huge, everybody was making memes about, like, not now, clavicular got frame mugged, but, like, where it's like, we can't be celebrating the Super Bowl in the middle of clavicular getting frame mugged by a frat leader at ASU. And everything, and, like, Carrie O'Donnell, one of my favorite people on Twitter, like, did a dramatic reenactment of telling somebody that, like, they got, frame mugged. They did Paul Revere, like, the clavicular got frame mugged. So it's like just became this big thing. So that was like the first viral moment of this ASU weekend that triggered like what is happening with the sentence.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna watch the second moment that kind of got people talking. And this one, so that was like intro level.
Yeah.
Now we're
clavicular got brutally frame mugged
by
the frat guy
at ASU.
By a frat leader at ASU.
Now let's watch this video.
My friend likes your cameraman. His name likes you. What's your name? I want to eat you. Tell us your name.
Yo, W. His name is Kirk.
Kirk.
So what did we just watch?
Well, first of all, there are a couple of women that look like duplicates of each other.
Yeah.
And I imagine there are more hiding off camera. So one of them says, "My friend likes your cameraman," and then we learn the cameraman's name is Kirk. And they're ogling him. I wonder, this is a different kind of frame mogging since the cameraman is setting the frame of the shot.
Wow.
So is he in fact?
So you're anticipating that the tweet, you're drafting. What is this tweet going to be
Exactly.
about? What are you going to say?
You could literally swap it. You could say he was once again frame mogged.
So you're saying you're saying frame mogged.
Yeah.
Elise, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions?
I guess the vibe is just that it's like a video of a bunch of drunk, like 20-something girls they're very pretty, beautiful young women, but they do all look like clones of each other, and they're kind of swarming clavicular, whatever, and asking him questions. They seem drunk and they seem like flirty.
Yes.
Okay. The sentence is, clavicular was mid-gesture gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels.
Oh, no.
Is ignoring the foids while munting and mogging moids more useful than SMV Chad fishing in the club?
Okay, great. Well, this is advanced.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like, wow.
This is AP Gen Z.
Okay.
Okay, so do some sentence mapping.
Okay.
What
Can I read it out loud again?
Yeah, read it out loud again. And then, maybe you guys can split up. You can read the first sentence. You can read the second sentence.
Clavicular was mid-jester gooning. So my guess is he's joking around with these girls.
Because we already talked about jester maxing.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of background knowledge, which is that in the episode we already did, there's a concept of jester maxing, which is to like be as funny as possible to charm people. Just kind of like being a nice and enjoyable person to be around.
Yes. And we know that, of course, gooning has to be well established.
Yeah. So jester gooning, I feel like, is probably like, doing it to try to get the ladies, because gooning is like jerking off.
Okay, yeah, let's stop right here.
Okay.
Let's stop right here and let's do one sentence by sentence. And I have to actually shout out at Bubble Boy on Twitter for kind of breaking this down.
Okay.
So again, just repeat the first sentence one more time.
Clavicular was mid-jester gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels.
Okay. So clavicular, we know, streamer Brendan Peters.
Yes.
And again, his name is to clavicular, like clavicle widening and lengthening. That is one of the Looksmaxxing things. So jester gooning is a portmanteau of two terms. Jester maxing, which is acting like a clown or fool. Okay, this person defines jester maxing as acting like a clown or fool to get attention or cope with social rejection. The definition that we got was jester maxing was getting that for
doing
attention
it to get
of
ladies.
girls.
Right.
Yeah.
And then gooning is originally referred to a trance-like state induced by porn addiction, but in this context generally means staring blankly or engaging in obsessive low IQ behavior. So I guess like jester gooning is like when you're so in the zone of being foolish, like you're kind of doing your own thing, right?
Okay.
Foids.
Like when you're really in it in an improv scene, you're kind of jester gooning in a way. When like the mind meld is really happening with you and the other teammates.
Yeah. When
Like,
you like found the game and you're
you're
escalating.
jester gooning in a way.
I would also just say jester gooning is like you're having a really fun time at a club.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we're going foids, right?
So I'm intuiting because we have foids and moids. I've never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm wait, because foids is a derogatory incel.
Oh no.
Term for women.
Yeah, femoids, right?
Which is short for femoids.
Bleep
Female,
me when I said that.
female humanoids. It's short. So foids is short for female humanoids. Did that answer what you were going to say?
Well, yeah, I knew that it's obviously that one is female and one is male, and then I guess humanoids was what I was going to try to figure out. But yeah, okay.
So we have spiked his cortisol levels, which cortisol is the stress hormone, which means that the woman made him extremely stressed, anxious, or panic.
Makes sense.
He does look stressed in the like where we're sitting right now, the freeze frame that we're seeing. He does look a little stressed.
Yes.
But so the translation of this sentence is this guy, clavicular, was in the middle of acting like an idiot, zoning out when a group of women arrived and made him panic. But okay, so that's sentence one.
Okay.
So now let's read sentence two.
Is ignoring the foids while munting and mogging moids more useful than SMV Chad fishing in the club?
This one's really hard.
This one's really hard.
This is really, really hard.
Okay. So we know ignoring the foids, the female humanoids, and we're mogging the moids, so we're outdoing the male humanoids and how hot we look.
But what is munting?
Okay.
That's a word I don't.
So munting is, while originally a grotesque term from shock sites, in Looksmaxxing slang, it's sometimes used, often ironically, to describe an extreme or ugly form of mewing. So tongue posture exercises to improve jawline. It implies focusing intensely on one's face or aesthetics. So basically, munting is like being very aware of yourself and like trying to position your face and your body in a way that's going to make you mog other people.
Right.
But it's so interesting because it's like but isn't the point of all of this to get the
women.
foids to come and talk to you, but you want to ignore the foids to munt and mog at the moids?
Well, that's what the philosophical question this is asking.
Yeah, that's really, it's hitting me right now.
So let's keep going. So we said mog, just to reiterate, mog is of alpha male of the group, which means physically dominating somebody else or looking much better. Moids is the derogatory term for male humanoids, which is counterpart to foid. SMV. Now this is one where again, this is the root of incels. SMV is acronym for sexual market value, a pseudo-psychological metric used in these communities to rank how valuable a person is to the opposite sex. And this is why you can't get too into this, because they think that there's actually a number that everybody is, because it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Isn't it easier if life was that, okay, here's a number and this is your sexual market value, and if you're under this, no one will fuck you, and if you're over this, everyone will want to fuck you.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I said I'd fuck Guy Fieri if I had the, you know what I mean? Because it's about Riz, it's about all these other things that make it not whatever. But these guys are SVM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we have Chad fishing.
Okay, can I take a guess at Chad fishing?
Yes.
It's because a Chad is like, a Chad is mogged. He's the ultimate handsome guy. Yeah. So is Chad fishing like putting yourself out there for like women to see, like to see how handsome you are, like maybe the opposite of like munting in a way?
Well, it's a combination of Chad, the archetypal attractive male, which is often talked about in incel things, and catfishing. So this is something this is a practice that a lot of guys are doing. Sometimes guys will do this in their friend groups, but creating a fake profile using a male model's picture, but some to see how women react. So basically, they have this view. So there's two things, right, that are happening. One is, if they have this view that life is easier and perfect and all everyone cares about is looks, and that's what all women want to fuck is Chads, they don't care about anything, and women are whatever, they make these Chad fishing profiles to basically confirm their bias and worldview of like
that women want to meet handsome men.
We get more matches if
we
like
Chad fish.
Right, yes.
And then another thing that this girl posted about it's another thing that's happening is that some guys will use their cuter friend's profile, like pictures on Hinge, but then Chad fish, and then they're the ones that there was like a group of friends.
But the girl's going to be like, who are you? I've never seen you.
Right.
So stupid.
Chad fishing is catfishing, but I guess it's like a subsect because it's with Chads. But I'm just like, but what's the end game? Because once the girl shows up and you're not who you said that you were, she's going to be like, well, who are you?
Well, a lot of it is like malicious to waste their time.
Yeah.
To like confirm that like women only care about this. And like, if I looked like this, I would have an easier time than if I did. But I'm just like, yeah,
anyone could do that.
Anybody could, but they're viewing, but like, that's the thing. They're viewing everything into like sexual value. It's like weird, right?
Yeah.
So
I got to get my SMV up, because if I had this SMV that's in the picture, then I would get these matches. Got to go back to the gym.
So let's read the question again, and then I'll read to you the translation.
Okay.
Right.
Clavicular was mid-jester gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels.
Is ignoring the foids while munting and mogging moids, Popcorn Chandler, more useful than SMV Chad fishing in the club?
So what this sentence means is it asks a philosophical question within this specific internet subculture, which is self-improvement and dominance over other men's homosocial competition more fulfilling than seeking validation from women through deception? So that is like what they're coming. That's the conversation that's coming up.
See, I feel like munting and mogging moids should not be actually paired with SMV catfishing in the club. SMV catfishing, I feel like munting and mogging moids is the opposite of like jester maxing to attract the women.
Right.
Not because I feel like once you're deceiving the women, like what actually are you getting out of that?
But I feel like Chad fishing might be that they like the cameraman and not him or something, I guess, too. That's what I'm also thinking of. But sexual market Chad fishing, I guess, is like getting your sexual market value up and like pretending to be a Chad while doing so.
But your sexual market value doesn't go up because it's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so that's what's confused. So I'm just like, I think SMV Chad fishing in the club is nearly useless. At least if you're munting and mogging the moids, you're getting some kind of social value out of that because you've munted and mogged all the moids.
So you're saying the answer is yes.
There we go. But you're saying homosocial competition is better than getting the attraction of females in this way because they are not being honest.
Because if you were actually attracting females, if you were jester maxing or jester gooning, and you were actually attracting females, then I would say that's way more valuable than munting and mogging moids.
But they're not even considering jester gooning as part of the equation.
No, it's not actually.
They're not even offering like he was doing the right thing the whole time if he was jester gooning.
Yeah, that's where this was tripping
Well, they don't
me up.
think jester gooning because they think jester gooning is humiliation. Not
That's
jester
a
gooning,
fundamental
jester
flaw.
maxing. Jester gooning is you're having a good time yourself and you're in this trance of having fun. But like these are all the words for like, hey, this group of girls went up to this guy and like he got nervous and was flirty.
Well,
then it's like, oh, he met a guy who like looked like who was more buff than him. And all the like it's all these complicated words for like I have an eating disorder or I want my jaw to be snatched.
They're taking this text, rather the video that is, very literally, where they're like, oh, they like the cameraman more than him. But it's also very much a move to be like, ooh, I like your friend, to make you jealous, make you chase me, and then
they're obviously here to talk to Clav. They want his weird attention.
They're like, oh, I'm interesting though because I like the cameraman, and then it's like it creates a little game.
I know, but like when you're a 15-year-old fucking viewer of, and again, these are people who are ripping off the Kick live stream. They're picking their favorite moments and they're putting them on Twitter with the language because they want this to go viral.
Sure.
What happened is that these tweets happen all the time on Twitter about like Chester maxing, gooning, whatever. It broke containment and went to the main page.
Yeah.
And then everybody started like dissecting and talking about it, and just because when you're outside of the vacuum of this shit, you're like, what the fuck are these people saying?
Yeah.
When you know
I mean, we just had to spend 15 minutes breaking this down.
And like, but when you know that like 60% of young boys in this country can speak this, can have proficiency. Just like if you take a little white kid from Kansas and you drop him in Mexico, he'll know what's going on in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, these kids, these little 14-year-olds, even little woke ones, they know what this means.
Right. Do we know if Chrome Heart 600, the author, is deliberately leaning into it? Like, is it supposed to be funny?
So the 2 tweets that we posted, right? Here's the real tea, is that those, I don't know if Chrome Heart specifically or the last one, but one of the accounts from the tweets that we saw, it was attributed to an account that's from Nigeria. So what happens on Twitter is that, which is literally what happened with this fucking last election. We didn't get a chance to cover it, but what they found was most right-wing accounts are not based in America because Twitter now monetizes engagement. So what happens is you have these people who live in different countries where the dollar is very powerful and they make a fucking good salary, hundreds of dollars a month. Like, not enough where anybody in the U.S. can live completely, you know what I mean? But they're making good money saying shit like, I hate black people, and then having a bunch of fucking people comment on it, and then they're getting a residual thing. And also, like, they a lot of the pro-Trump accounts are those people, like, commenting and engaging and saying, like, I don't like Cardi B or this and that, those things. So what I think is happening, and I'm sure that, like, the competition, like, obviously, you want it's kind of like a niche market of these engagement baiters because they know that, like, these Looksmaxxer things will get some form of engagement. They will make some kind of money from it. But I just don't think he anticipated. But, like, this has 22 million views.
Yeah.
And then it has 3,000 likes, 28,000 likes, 3,000 comments. Like, that is getting a couple $100. And to somebody in Nigeria, that's life-changing money.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's again, preying on these young little boys. And Elon Musk created a system that rewards more of this shit being published and put out there. And there's no counter programming and there's no nothing on the other side. So just to round out Clavicular's trip to ASU, he does get arrested.
Yeah.
So this, okay, read this.
Yeah.
Read this.
Clavicular's cortisol still didn't spike despite being arrested live on stream for using a horrible fake ID at a bar. So, well, now they're saying his cortisol's not spiking, and I guess this is like a compliment to him.
Yeah.
That he would not be scared when this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more scared of girls than being
Right,
arrested.
exactly.
Or like he's
A big,
real-
strong man is going to put you in the police car.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, that's a whole other.
Do you think he munted and mogged the cop?
Oh, he kept Muntin Mog.
But no, not this. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, he's
That cop is out mogging him by a lot.
Mugging him. I'm sorry. This
You-
cop
Yeah.
from this side. The
And
cop is
ACAB. ACAB always.
ACAB,
But
of
we can
course.
say when a cop is out mogging.
Yeah.
Clavicular.
And
Sorry.
he is munting. He is not nervous
Yeah.
because his cortisol did not spike when he's talking. The cop is mogging him and clavicle. But that's why I went easy, then advanced, then back to easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because now we know what's going on. So guys, when I'm telling you I went to the trenches, when we're talking about Pulitzer Prize winning journalism,
Mhm.
I need you to know because I wanted to know because they're saying again, right? The people have spoken. He said his cortisol hasn't spiked.
Right.
So Millie Tamaris went into the subscriber only clavicular feed called Clavicular's Clan. There's about 10,000 members on it. Only like the biggest fans of Clavicular can be on it. And I was just like, I want to see what they're saying about Clavicular and going to jail for a fake ID. Here was one of the posts that I had.
Jail maxing W.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
And this was the rumor, right? That Clavicular, who is 20, he went to ASU, which I'm like, if you're 20 and like, why are you going to bars? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of want to get caught. And the tea and the theories is that he wanted to get caught so he can have a sexy mugshot. Some people are saying this mugshot is AI generated. We don't know. this and that. But
One of his eyes does look like it's going off a little bit wrong, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
could be good because he has a little delicate curl falling into his eye.
yeah, you know that the boys are getting curly perms to get a look like this.
Well, I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either. But like, this is what I'm saying. But I'm like, but this is a pipeline, right? They whatever.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's soft maxing.
Yeah.
The boys
That's
are soft maxing at
okay.
11.
If they want to get a little curl going. I'm
They're
not
soft
upset.
maxing. So anyway, and then this is a side by side with Clav and Nick Fuentes, and it says
Not that
jail
side.
maxing W, and it's by Asian Groiper. At Cozy Mithra, and again, Groiper. That's allegedly the group that the guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk is in. So we're in great company with. But I'm saying like this is a thing. So I continue to go down the Clav's Clav, and I see the message that Clavicular gave to his followers in his subscriber only fan page, and he said, going live soon. They didn't give me access to food or water. The whole night I was in jail, so I need to eat first and call my grandma.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty
Okay.
funny.
I like the clavicular is clavicular 0. He didn't get
He didn't get
clavicular.
Clavicular 1.
Well, it's too first thought of a name.
Yeah. He got out mogged.
Yeah. He didn't get food or
Yeah.
water, and
Did
he
not
has to call.
username Max.
I know. Yeah.
He has to.
He got
eat-
brutally user mogged.
He
Username
got brutally
mogged.
mogged, and he's munting right now. I wonder what do you call calling your grandma? Like grandson maxing by calling calling your grandma.
That is grandson Max.
That is grandson maxing. And then I was like, well, what is his followers saying about the arrest? And Chandler, I'm going to have you read this because, I'm sorry if I was auditioning for who would be on this site, I would choose you over Elise.
Let's look and sound the part. I'm just going to read it without reading it. I live here in Scottsdale. From everything I've heard, one of these sorority foids' dads has the direct line to Scottsdale police and made the call. They really wanted Clav bad. It's so fucked up.
So what do you think? So basically, what can you surmise from this sentence?
Well, it's like he's being falsely, Nicholas Mateo thinks that Clavicular has been sort of falsely accused of wrongdoing here.
Or that he was like, the Foyd's dad has a direct line to Scottsdale police. So the Foyds wanted him so bad. They were like, we're going to have the police. No, I'm thinking that they think that she used her connections via her dad from the Scottsdale police to capture Clavicular by police. Yeah. So because they wanted him so bad and it's fucked up.
They wanted to fuck Clavicular so bad.
They had the police capture him.
They called her dad to call the police to get him arrested for using a fake ID.
Wow.
Yeah. This is how these guys are thinking. This is how they think the world works.
I mean, do we know they didn't? Do we know that the Foyds weren't involved?
We you know what, Elise, you're right. We don't know.
We don't know anything about the Foyds.
Foyds will reach for comment later. We'll reach for Foyds for comment.
Also, guys, if I insert anything here, it's because we reached the Foyds for comment.
Why do you need a direct line to the Scottsdale police? I don't think they're that hard to reach. No. I feel like if a bartender or whatever called, it could just work just as well.
Also, like, somebody getting arrested for a fake ID.
At ASU?
At ASU.
Right, that is crazy.
Like, why? But you're saying, like, it shouldn't happen or it should happen.
I just what doesn't need to be a conspiracy, right? Like,
it's not a conspiracy.
Like that's every night.
A guy with 5 cameras around him using a really bad fake ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who pisses people off.
Also a famous 20-year-old.
Right. A famous 20-year-old who was literally banned from every club in Miami last week for saying an anti-Semitic Kanye song. Yeah. Has cameras and is using a bad fake ID.
Well, I'm also interested in it had to be a man that came in and made this call, right? It couldn't be that someone else at the party was calling. One of the sorority Foyds had to get a real man, a dad, to then make the call to the police to actually make this happen. There's no way that he could have gotten his comeuppance from one of the Foyds directly.
And this guy votes.
Yeah.
This guy votes.
I know.
This guy votes.
In Arizona. In Arizona. This guy's voting in Arizona.
This is who we're sending our postcards to.
Amazing. Yeah,
Kirsten
exactly.
#1 fan.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's just a little bit of what happened. And all of this culminated, now that you speak, now that you're fluent in Gen Z incel speak, which again, I'm like, we got to be paying attention to what is being said over there.
We need to know
what they're saying, why they're saying it, all that stuff. And you need to talk to you need to get a young boy in your life and be like, hey, no one cares about, or people do care about your jawline, but get a beard if you don't want it.
There are options.
There are options. Be cool, be funny, be this,
Jester
be that.
Max.
Jester Max. Jester Max.
Please.
Yeah.
Jester Max.
You need to be Jester Maxing in the club. Not SMV Chad fishing, not munching and mugging Lloyds. You need to be Jester Maxing.
So this all builds to a tweet that I saw that me and Elise are going to get into the nitty gritty of the Bad Bunny Super Bowl at another time, maybe on Patreon. But I did want to culminate to this tweet because without me going into the depths of the clan of Clav's clan, I don't know if I would have understood this next tweet, which is Bad Bunny just family values mogged Turning Points USA. And now
Bad Bunny just family values mogged TV USA.
And now tell me, now after watching...
I'm sorry, that's by Bustin' Trudeau.
That's
by at Bustin' Trudeau.
So now that you guys speak Gen Z, what does this mean? And you saw the Super Bowl.
Well, we know that Turning Point USA had a botched halftime show rebuttal thing that did not work. And they're all about family values. But of course, Bad Bunny had featured many wonderful, beautiful families in his and children and everything, a wedding, everything, all halftime show. So he outdid them in a family values sense.
Yeah.
To their humiliation.
So he family values mogged them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, any thoughts about the future of our country? This is what our boys are doing.
I mean, I think, as we know, because of Bad Bunny's halftime performance and because the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, woke has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Woke is back.
Woke is upon us. And these young men are going to need to adapt.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get left behind in new woke. So I feel like that they need to, if you're listen, if you're one of the many young men who listens to this podcast and is about to be trapped into this, talk to women,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
interact with them. Imagine what if
That's
they were
nice.
human beings and then talk to them accordingly. And I think you will find that you can actually break free of this spell, and in fact actually start with even talking to other men your own age who you know. Start
real
there if
life.
that's too
Yeah,
hard.
in
In
real
real
life.
life,
Yeah.
right?
In real life.
Not just people on the internet. And then once you're comfortable with that, you can then go move on to talking to girls, because
Yeah.
this is the way. This is how you connect with people. There's no shortcut. That's the only way to do
And
it.
just like look around and be like you see a man and his wife at the grocery store, right? And you're like, is that man Looksmaxxed?
Yeah.
He's probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And there he is.
He's getting mogged by his wife.
Yeah,
getting
like
wild,
yeah.
just open your eyes to the world.
Now, see, my dark thing is like, I think we need some Looksmaxxers on the left to radicalize these guys back.
I'll do it.
We need, yeah.
Okay,
we
I'll
need
do
people
it.
that speak this language, that are like bringing, like, we need to find a tool that de-radicalizes.
Okay,
these guys.
I'll take meth.
I mean, unironically, I do think Hassan and Stavi are,
Yeah.
are doing this. Like, you cannot deny that part that they kind of have, sort of polar looks.
Hassan Piker and Stavros.
Hulk, yes,
yeah.
And so, like, Hassan, is Looksmaxxing. He's a very big, strong guy, and I feel like that allows, like, someone who's like on the verge of being radicalized in the other direction to like take him seriously. And then, once you get locked into that online discourse, you can, slowly start to develop respect for other kinds of human beings.
Not women, but
Not,
continue.
well, maybe eventually.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. We don't want to go too far
We
too
can't
fast.
yeah.
And then I feel like Stavi's also just like, he's jester maxing.
Yeah, he's just maxing.
He's
in a major
constantly
way.
talking about how, like, he was very insecure about his looks, and eventually he just embraced who he was, and now he's had sex with all kinds of people.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
he has. So
Mm-hmm.
you're saying Jester Goon?
Mhm.
Jester Goon.
Well,
Just to
that does remind me, one last note, that in the episode we did, the Patreon episode that will soon be released on the free feed, one of the things that you told me about Clav is that he preferred Gavin Newsom to J.D. Vance because Gavin Newsom is more of a Chad.
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah, he's the
get
on the
them.
right wing pipeline. He's the more gettable.
I mean, their worldview is so insane that it's almost like it makes them easier to like maybe
Malleable.
talk to.
I do feel like Zoran does some jester gooning, does
Yeah.
some soft maxing.
Oh, with that
handsome
press
guy.
conference he did with all the little kids, he was Jester Maxing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was Jester Maxing.
So I
Yeah,
think
but
that's a
he's
breakthrough,
also
too.
like his SMV's high,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's got a beautiful Floyd,
Well, yeah,
and
exactly.
he never has to mutt, and he's always mogging,
Yes.
I mean, that's
but
the
he
thing.
can't run for president.
No,
so
No.
can't.
He cannot.
but you know what? Donald Trump can insurrect and uninsurrect.
Yes.
We can get Mr. Muttmog Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
When we amend the Constitution to
Zoran
give
Mogdani.
Zoran
Mogdani.
Mogdani. When the woke mob amends
Yeah.
the Constitution to add pronouns at the beginning,
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
can also go
Yeah.
in and make it no longer a requirement that you're born in the United States.
Yeah.
to be
And
president.
you think that we're joking, but we almost killed you for using the wrong,
Mhm.
having the wrong emoji
Yeah.
opinion. So Woke 2.0 is
Woke
coming, and
2.0
when
is
AOC
coming.
is president, there will be a tribunal about this emoji
Yeah,
abuse.
it's gonna happen.
And that's why people are scared. That's why boomers are scared. That's what Chris Rock is scared of.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's gonna happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Because people want to hear Latinas. People want, if nothing else, guess what? Guess what? You want vulnerable
Listen.
young men in America? Latinas.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny knows how to do it.
This is my story. I've lived by Latinas, and I'm gonna die by
Yeah,
Latinas.
Wow, that's
And-
beautiful.
and there you go. And that's the American dream.
Dream.
And that's why everyone's jealous of Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Because he
Wow.
ain't do nothing to nobody but smoke crack and fuck Latinas.
Okay. It is time.
Grasshole of the week.
Chandler, you know this because you've been here, but for anyone new who's listening, Grasshole of the Week is where we name the person, people, entities, politicians, groups that need to log off the most. Today, we're talking about a very specific person, and I'm very interested because, Millie, you went down like a dark and strange rabbit hole for
Men.
men. This is a strange, dark, not as dark, but dark rabbit hole for women. This week's Grasshole is a woman by the name of Danielle Bernstein, better known as WeWoreWhat. This is Danielle Bernstein. Who is she? She is a 33-year-old fashion influencer, best known as the founder of WeWoreWhat, which is a fashion and lifestyle brand. She started it in 2010 as like a blog, but now it's like its own brand. It's
early adopter of blog, just like Chiara Ferragni.
Yeah. If you were a white woman and an early adopter of blogs,
that's it. Done deal.
That's like investing in Apple in like 1995.
But that's like a lot of people that we interview and stuff. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm big. And it's like, what happened? I joined TikTok in 2020.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just like, that's what it was. Blog 2010, TikTok 2020. What's going to be the 2030 thing?
I mean, I hope we find out and we get there early.
Yeah, tell us if you have any insight. Tell
us.
Bro, it's Kick. It's Kick, bro.
It's Kick.
Maybe.
Kick.
Okay, but Danielle Bernstein, so she's the founder of WeWoreWhat. It's a brand. Big deal. She was Forbes 30 under 30.
Okay, so she's a criminal.
Yeah.
Well, put a pin
Who hired
in that.
a PR firm.
Put in that.
A criminal who hired a PR firm.
She's written a memoir. She released a credit card. We'll get more into both.
Put a pin in credit card.
And her releasing a credit card. We're going to talk about it. Basically, she's very OG girl boss vibes.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. And before we get into it, just these are her profiles. Her handle is always WeWoreWhat, but it's her personal account and it's her brand. She's got 3.2 million followers on Instagram and 138,000 on TikTok. So now, before we get into why she's going viral right now, I'm going to give you guys some background on her past scandals so that we can kind of draw a through line about the narrative around Danielle, Miss WeWoreWhat. So we're going to start in 2018. 2018, she teamed up with Lulu Kwiatkowski. Sorry, I'm going to have to read a lot of fashion names that like I have never seen in my life.
Okay.
Whatever. She's doing this jewelry collab with Lulu. And it was quickly called out by Diet Prada, which is another like Instagram lifestyle fashion page. WeWoreWhat and Diet Prada, ancient beef.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even realize was a thing. But Diet Prada is always coming for Danielle Bernstein.
Well,
like
she's an op.
So basically, this is the first time that she gets accused of like ripping off other brands. It was accused of being a ripoff of the brands Foundry. Another one was called Retruvi, and then like Tiffany and Bondi Jewelry. Like apparently she just ripped off a bunch of designs. And this resulted in the founder of Foundry posting, then deleting an Insta story that said, "Tonight I feel crushed." And then Danielle Bernstein responds via Insta story where she's crying and says that the line was actually inspired by her late grandfather.
Oh,
and
God.
Pulling that.
And then Nordstrom eventually just like removes some of the pieces that were accused of being stolen.
Yeah, this is not the same, but like this is kind of it's not so much munting and mogging, but we're in a similar space.
We're in a different. The point is being in like a corner of the internet, and we're very much in this corner of the internet. So then, okay, we're gonna fast forward January 2020. She gets in this whole thing with this Poshmark seller named Jade Myers because basically this Poshmark seller, Poshmark being a luxury resale website where you can like resell designer stuff, and some people make a fuckload of money. That's like their business.
Yeah, it gets very tough on Poshmark.
It's
very contentious on Poshmark.
So basically, this Jade Myers woman found an unreleased WeWoreWhat / Oneida swimsuit collab thing. She found a piece from it, and this is unreleased. And she found it at a charity store, got it for nothing, listed it at an expensive price. Danielle Bernstein then sees that this unreleased piece of fashion has made it onto Poshmark. She DMs this girl and is like, "Can you take it down?" And Jade's like, "Yeah, I'll take it down if you buy the piece back from me at the listing price. Because like I found it fair and square. Like I found your shit." So then Danielle agrees, but then she takes it back and she says, "Actually, I'm just going to pay you what you paid for it." And then they go back and forth and they're getting in fights online. And Danielle threatens to get her kicked off of Poshmark, but then the two meet in real life and they cry it out, quote unquote. And they agree that the Poshmark seller is going to accept a couple pieces from the new collection in exchange for this unreleased thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a whole drama that she gets into. March 2020, she's accused of copying Cecile Bonson's puff sleeve tiered baby doll dress in her collection for Macy's. In May 2020, her book, This Is Not a Fashion Story, Taking Chances, Breaking Rules, and Being a Boss in the Big City comes out.
Oh my God.
And it immediately becomes a New York Times bestseller. But then New York Times adds this dagger symbol next to it, which is a way that they show on the bestseller list that something has had suspicious purchases. Like that maybe someone's doing like, because you can basically like buy your book in bulk so that it technically qualifies for the list.
Right.
But New York Times doesn't want you to do that. And they are like, they want the bestseller list to be real. So if they suspect you of doing that, they put this little like dagger next to your book that says like you did it, but like you're on here because you technically qualify, but like we think it's shady.
Yeah, you're not Chad Maxing us.
Yeah, exactly. You're
can't
going to
Chad
Chad Max the Times. Then in July 2020, she's accused of copying a pair of vintage 90s shorts off of an Etsy seller. And remember, we're in July 2020. She's accused of copying a linen mask and safety chain thing that she released from a Latina-owned brand.
Wow, not in July.
In July 2020.
Shit was hot in July 2020.
A mask design from a Latina-led brand. You're playing with fire.
This is what we want to go back to.
Yes.
This needs to be the most controversial story.
Well,
in
the
the world.
emoji thing is we're getting there.
That's right.
That's what you're not seeing. That you are the Latina-owned linen maxer.
I'm going to be the main character for reasons I cannot begin to comprehend.
So, okay. So this shit obviously gets really crazy because, number one, it's July of 2020 and she's stolen, allegedly, a linen mask designed from a Latina-owned brand.
Yeah.
This brand is called Second Wind. Diet Prada is the one who calls this out and is like, you stole the mask.
Yeah.
Diet Prada, op, to and fro. Like,
I know you can't have ops. You can't be sloppy and have ops.
Yeah. And like Diet Prada is on her ass. So then Second Wind is like, here's the thing. Danielle reached out to us and asked us for some of our masks for samples.
And that's how you get. That's why you can't be acting sloppy because you can't say plausible deniability and then ask for samples.
And you're in people's DMs from your verified account being like, can I get samples? So then Danielle gets on Instagram, starts crying, says she defends herself, but then she's also like, but I'm donating the rest of my masks and also another 5,000 masks to healthcare workers. And then the masks are like quietly removed from her website.
Yeah, but I don't think a healthcare worker wants a linen mask. Like,
in July 2020?
Like a thin-ass mask that looks fashionable, that's absolutely... You might as well be giving smallpox.
I mean, that is so funny.
Yeah, toss out the N95 and put on the linen mask.
Yeah, with a little safety chain.
Yeah.
The little cute chain.
Cute, though.
Okay, same month, she's spotted partying in the Hamptons without a mask on, goes on IG and is like, I have COVID.
Yes.
So now we're speeding up the scandals. October 2020, she's accused of copyright infringement again by the Great Eros, which is this Brooklyn lingerie company. She sues them then and defends herself in the stories. Then in November 2020, she's accused of copying designer Kalsa Whitney's corset skirt design for her brand Grayscale, which had already been worn by Cardi B and Doja Cat. And Danielle had been photographed wearing the brand back in 2017, so she was definitely aware of it.
Oof.
January 2021, Business Insider does an investigation into Danielle and finds 3 more cases of alleged theft and copyright infringement.
So she just be copying everybody's shit.
Yeah. March 2021, she's accused of stealing a design from the founder of We Are Kin after requesting samples from them. Another through line is like a lot of these brands are woman of color owned. It's a Latina-led brand or it's like a Black woman designer. Like she's also
you're not
stealing
even
from...
being subtle anymore.
No.
Come on. Steal from some white people at least.
February
You don't got Eastern Europeans you're excited about or fucking...
Well, That's actually a great segue into her next scandal, which is in February of 2022, she got in trouble for posting a bunch of bikini pics amidst Russia's invasion of Ukraine with the caption, "When I say you can do both, I truly mean it." Meaning, like, you can care about Ukraine and, like, look really good in a bikini, which is technically true, but, like, in poor taste.
Yeah. And the bikini design was stolen by a black
Truly,
Native
probably.
American woman who had all the proceeds and she was a healthcare worker.
April 2022, she launches the WeWoreWhat rewards card.
Okay.
The WeWoreWhat rewards
card.
visa.
Oh, the WeWoreWhat rewards
The
visa.
The WeWoreWhat
rewards visa. Mog that, bitch.
Wow. Okay. Which featured a cashback. It said it featured cashback, but you couldn't actually cash the cashback out. It could only be used to buy more
WeWoreWhat. Well, bitch, it's not the WeWoreWhat cashback card. It's the WeWoreWhat rewards card visa.
So then she's accused of predatory lending. Then in July of 2023, she's accused of posting this photo with AI-generated abs. The abs are really funny.
You don't need abs for this outfit.
No, and they look really actually like... They actually remind me of the frat bro who frame mobbed Clavicular.
Yes.
Because I don't like this. This looks creepy to me.
No.
It looks like there's something wrong.
Yeah, like a hernia or something. Like there's just like this
they
weird
don't look
little
like abs,
hole
really.
in her. Yeah. So good.
That's
So
lame.
anyway,
That's
yeah.
so lame. That's so lame.
She posted a picture.
Stolen valor.
You gotta hire a real Photoshop artist and then not pay them, of course.
No.
Pay them in what was it? WeWoreWhat rewards.
WeWoreWhat rewards.
Cashback that you can't cash
You
out.
can't be skipping on this with AI.
No, I mean,
She needs Hillary Duff's husband's Photoshop person.
so anyway,
yes.
she's stealing her designs. She's
She's
doing
using
predatory
AI for
lending.
abs.
She's stealing fake abs. Okay. Then in October 2023, she comes out as super pro-Israel. Okay.
Incredible.
October 2024, she goes on a podcast and says she doesn't wash her face.
Wow.
She's really like hitting all
she's-
the trending scandals at the right time.
Yeah.
Like she's doing girl boss stuff. She's stealing from black people when it's popular.
Yes.
She's supporting Israel when it's popular. Like it's just interesting.
And then she's playing this, like, I don't wash my face, whatever. So, okay. That is the brief history of Danielle Bernstein. What patterns emerge
And she's
for
only
both of you?
33,
And she's only
beautiful.
33.
Look
at that.
Girl boss.
She girl bossed it.
She girl bossed.
I mean, I do feel like she is a reflection of the ongoing kind of like fake it till you make it culture, where it's just like, do whatever it takes just to like get a following, get, an audience base, whatever, in the short term. And you can make tons of mistakes. And as long as you just never apologize and you cry on camera when you're upset, then you can keep going. Because I don't know, it doesn't seem like for all the, I don't know what the legal, I guess there were some legal implications here, but I imagine it's complicated determining like whether you've stolen intellectual property in fashion. Like it doesn't feel like it's as protected as other things.
It's
tough.
hard.
It's
It's hard when it's like, it's always these really small brands that are going against her, and then she sues them back. She's very litigious too. So like, she starts suing a lot of these people back and this and that. And so it's like, she has a lot of resources, but you're right that it is hard because she'll always be like, the design was inspired by my grandfather.
Yeah.
This is actually from this, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's also just like the things that make you popular online and the things that make you a good online creator. It's not the same things that make you a good fashion designer, right? Because if you're online creating, you have to like constantly keep up with the trends and all this stuff and like produce and like everything is kind of inspired by other things. Like somebody makes a video format and you can like riff on that and whatever. That's not the same for fashion. I mean, even though people do that in fashion, you have to have your own twist. You have to have your thing, and you can't fucking say. That's why they have a separate buyer. You have to do it properly where it's like, okay, here are all the other things that I'm inspired by. How can we riff and do it on our own?
Yeah.
Instead of like using your brand name to be like, hey, can we get a sample of this? Because you don't want to pay. Like,
and then releasing it
and
yourself.
then releasing it yourself. you get a different buyer to go and look at all these things and see how can we get this product through our stores at a good, like, it's just like she's an idiot.
Okay. So that brings us to why she is going viral right now. We're going to start around 6 months ago. Danielle announced that she was engaged to her boyfriend, real estate analyst Cooper Weissman. We get tons of engagement content surrounding this. Classic engagement post stuff. He proposed. She's got the ring. It's all very stylized. You can see that he created a whole set to do this. Like, it's all very content forward. Yeah. This entire relationship, engagement, wedding. So in September of 2025, she went on TikTok to reveal that she wanted to do something a little different for her engagement party and that she had curated shoppable links to dresses that were perfect for the theme and dress code to make it easier for the guests and to avoid matching moments. So basically what she was saying was like, she made a shopping list of like things that were okay to wear, and you had to pick off of that list and buy something from that list so that no one would be wearing the same thing and that it would all be in theme. So she was basically requiring all of her guests to buy new attire for the engagement party.
Yeah.
Insane.
Not the wedding. So people immediately point out, like, one, that sucks to do and to make everyone have to buy new clothes. And then two, they noticed that it was all affiliate links. So she's making money off of them purchasing this stuff.
Late stage. We're in the later stage of capitalism.
So it's like she's making money off of her wedding. Guess who she's forcing to spend money on clothes for the engagement party, not even the wedding.
That's so funny.
October 18th, we get the engagement party. What do you notice about these pictures?
It looks like a wedding.
Yes.
It looks like a very nice, like, but casual wedding.
They have branded stuff on the ground. It's fully catered. She's in a full white gown. He's in a suit. Like, it looks like a full wedding. So this is like a full spread that they did. And then this is the full after party that they did.
Oh, my God.
So, you know, she's got an outfit change. They're clearly in a new location. That's catered. So people are generally like, why is this engagement party the size of a wedding, first of all? Like, this is a crazy amount of content and all this stuff just for the engagement party. This isn't even the wedding.
I'm looking for the abs, and I don't see abs. But
you can kind of see them on the left, but they're not.
She doesn't have abs.
Yeah,
she's
just
like
skinny.
is skinny, which I'm like, it still like looks beautiful. I don't know. I'm just like, it's insane that she had to do the abs.
She AI generated the abs. Yeah. So, okay. This is causing all this chatter because people are like, this is a lot.
And also, like, again, weddings are a hot topic.
Yes.
People will always have something to say about weddings.
Exactly.
If you want to get people pissed, do some wedding shit.
And that's the thing, is people don't like what she's wearing, or they do like what she's wearing. So it's causing all the normal amount of, like, discourse that she likes to start anyway.
And also, she is also doing some crazy shit, which is having these crazy things, and also the shopping list.
Yeah, you would think these were pictures of the actual wedding, not the engagement party. But the big controversy comes after TikTok user @BeOrBuy posts this.
I left my first ever hate comment, and it was towards Danielle Bernstein, the WeWoreWhat girl. It obviously got deleted within like minutes. And I just want to talk about it for a second because I haven't seen anything about it online. Her speech she gave at her engagement party is nearly identical to a speech a girl on TikTok gave at her wedding. The only reason I noticed is because I saw the first girl's video like the day prior. And I was like, wait, this sounds awfully familiar. So I clipped them back to back to back, which I'll show you at the end. It's not illegal. It's not illegal, but it is funny because she constantly gets accused of stealing from small creators. And it kind of checks out that she would steal a wedding speech as well and use it as like a blueprint. I don't get her, and I know it might be a stretch. And if it is a stretch, totally fine. Forgive me, please, but it is funny.
All of the decisions that go into planning a wedding, there are so many like little tiny decisions. So many hard decisions with this venue and all the things that went into what you see tonight. And really the most easy decision, and the one outside of marrying this man next to me, was who we wanted here on this very special day. The easiest decision of all besides the man I stand next to and saying yes to him was who we wanted to have here to celebrate us. I love you all. We love you all. And you are so a part of our story. I love each and every one of you so much. I'm so grateful that you're such a big part of our story.
Just to recap it, this person basically said that she discovered that Danielle Bernstein's speech that she made at the engagement party was almost identical to this other influencer's speech that she made at her actual wedding. What say you? Seeing them mashed up, do you think they were the same?
I do. I think, first of all, I work as a professional speechwriter, so I'm an expert here on the panel. The choice, if you want,
not mansplaining.
I think
you can't
when
it's actually your job, it's just explaining.
No, you're gonna die.
I will
Clav.
say, it's like
okay, Clav.
That what convinced me in particular was the move of like the decision. Apart from this guy right here, it was all of you. It's like a lot of it is like cliches that people use over and over again. But that particular like wording in that order, you could easily like if you were just trying to copy someone's speech, it would be so easy to change it a little bit and not have it be that. So I totally buy it, and it speaks to like the psychology of this person, where it's like, okay, well, at what point? Like, I get, like, cutting corners at your job that you don't care about. I even get being, like, unscrupulous in your pursuit of your dreams. But, like, this is your, effectively your wedding day. It might as well be your wedding day. It's, like, supposed to be one of the most important days of your life. And it's, like, you can't even muster the energy to, like, actually check in with yourself and come up with something that you would want to say.
I mean, do you think this is worse? I think this is worse than when people get AI to write their speech.
Yes.
So that was one thing that people brought up, is that they were like, maybe both these women use ChatGPT.
I can see that. That
so
totally
I was like, I think we should leave space for the idea that both of these influencer ladies use ChatGPT.
That could happen, but I'm just like, this lady memorized it so well.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like it was coming out of her in a way that I'm like, I don't care if she whatever.
Right.
And like, again, with using I just don't know, right? Because I'm just like, it just sounded like there was a root in something that she was saying that I'm like, I wouldn't doubt if she wrote something first and put it into ChatGPT or whatever. But I'm like, that the second lady ripped it off. And I'm just like, is it illegal? No, but you're a loser. And like, that's kind of like counterintuitive. When you're an influencer, you want to look cool and be different and all this stuff. Yeah, you can't check in with yourself and see like, how does this guy make me feel? Or what do I want to say to people or this and that? Or like, why are we, I don't know. And like, it doesn't have to be decision. It could be choice. It could be, I don't know. It's just like weird.
To me, it speaks to just like an emptiness at the core. It's like, who are you? Like, what do you believe in? What element of you is not just directly stolen from someone else?
What questions are you asking yourself besides who wore what?
Wow.
Enough of who wore what. Who are you?
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, that was amazing, first of all. Second of all, Chandler, you said something earlier about, like, this may as well have been her wedding day.
Right.
It really may as well have been, because on January 30th, she posted an Instagram story announcing the engagement is off.
Wow.
No more Cooper Weissman?
Weissman, you got it.
No more Cooper Weissman for Miss Danielle Bernstein.
So, she posted this Instagram story. I've been quiet about my personal life and wasn't ready to speak on it until now. We've stepped away from our relationship with love and respect. There's no big dramatic reason. Sometimes it's simply not the right forever. I'm not sure what the future holds, but this choice took courage. I would really appreciate privacy and grace for both of us during this time. Thank you for your support. Obviously, we're a drama channel, so we won't be doing that.
So whose breakup post is this stolen from?
Yeah,
I know. That's the first
well, we're
question.
stepping away from the relationship is so funny. We're stepping away from the relationship. Like, the relationship is in a room and we're both stepping away from it.
The relationship continues to exist. They're just not participating in it.
I'm no longer engaging in this, I guess,
She posted this and people are like, no, you don't get to do a million photo shoots and all of this stuff and all of this wedding content and all of this thing and then be like, now I want my privacy.
Yeah.
I will say, you know, as someone who stepped away from a marriage, do I have an understanding for releasing a lot of wedding content, some of which goes viral that you have to quietly delete? Of course I do. Of course I do. I understand.
No, but you're not like this.
But I'm not doing this.
You're not like
I'm not
Elise,
doing this.
That's just a normal. You're a content creator on the internet who was married once. That's different than Miss
Tale
Daniel.
as old as time.
Tale as old as time. Tale as old as time.
Well, it's all you didn't make people buy tickets to your comedy show for the engagement party either.
Well, no. Imagine I'm like, oh my God.
But stop.
Okay.
Not quite, but you're getting warmer, so let's.
All right, we're gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I want to just be clear that I did not have a comedy show related to my wedding in any way, shape, or form.
All I'm saying,
not at the wedding weekend, which other comedians do that,
yes.
and we.
That's why I want to be very clear that I did not.
At least did not, and I can testify that.
Thank you.
I'm stopping.
Thank you.
Chandler
That was why I was
getting
worried.
we're gonna move on.
Too close to the reality.
I'm not getting
Yes.
too comfortable. Danielle,
Yes.
Chandler is so sit in the Latina discomfort.
Yeah, he understands.
Melissa Suentes is sitting next to you. She is an uncomfortable Latina every day. You get 2 hours a year where you have to sit in Latina discomfort.
Listen, I have Latina discomfort every holiday season. All right, I'm well acquainted with it. Danielle, it's like imagine being her friends. Imagine like you spent all this money for this the sham.
Oh my God, you had to
event.
buy a $500 dress.
Yeah,
She
from
got
her.
the kickback from the promo code.
Can I say something? The dress I wore to Elisa's wedding, $20. I don't give a fuck. And it broke that night. It broke at the wedding. It broke in the ceremony.
Single use.
Even with my bridal party, I was like, it just has to be emerald green and satin. Whatever
Right.
price point that works for you. Either
Right.
way. Anyway, enough about my failed marriage.
No, not fair.
It did fail a little bit. So that I'll cop to. We didn't have a comedy show, but we did get divorced. So
Can we step away from this subject matter with love and respect?
No.
we can step away. We're stepping away with love and respect.
But Danielle is lame and you are not because of why.
Because of, here's the thing. Okay. So what has come out since they stepped away from the relationship? Allegedly, comedy
podcast.
Is that apparently what people are saying is that Danielle wanted a prenup that was very favorable to her. Like she didn't want to split money with him from the paid promotions that were even from the wedding.
Oh, no.
And he was like, well, it's my wedding too. Like I have to be able to
she's like, it's my name and I'm the one that's, no one would have gave a fuck about Cooper Weissman.
Yeah, if it wasn't
for Danielle Bernstein, which I'm like, that's tough.
I think it is crazy to ask for a percentage. Yeah.
It's also
he's there.
She wouldn't have the wedding to promote if it wasn't for Cooper Weissman.
You gotta break Cooper off a piece.
Yeah, look, leave something for Cooper.
But did Cooper? Is it because she didn't want to give him anything, or she didn't want to give?
We don't know. We just the rumor is that it was related to the prenup and it was related to his share of wedding spawn, basically.
Wow.
Then they say that she wanted the rights to her future kids' names. She wanted them. This is something we got into with the Brooklyn Beckham stuff.
Yes.
Rich people have to trademark their kids' names and all this stuff.
Until they get to after 18, and then whatever.
So basically, she wanted that, and then other people are saying that maybe she wanted to be able to do like momfluencer stuff ASAP, and he wasn't as into having them online like that. And then the final allegation, and again, all of this is just literally shit people are saying on TikTok. So truly take everything with a grain of salt. Allegedly, but this is the conversation. Another thing that people were saying is that when she was looking through the B-roll of the engagement party, she caught Cooper on a hot mic saying that she's fake.
Wow.
That she's fake?
That she's fake and annoying or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but it's also like,
but I guess
is she fake?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like, why are you marrying her if you're worried about fakeness?
Yeah.
It's not enough. But I'm like, it's not enough for him to be mad at. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, But
who
I'm like,
knows?
damn, you didn't want to break off Cooper a thing. That's tough.
Yeah. It's
But I'm like, I would have figured that shit out before I had 4 engagement parties.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So as of last week, she's getting a lower bleph, and she's announced that she's building a house.
Okay.
So that's
What's a lower bleph?
lower eyelid surgery. Upper bleph is where they like lift your eyelid and like widen your eyes. So lower bleph has to be like under eyelid surgery.
Mm.
And she's building a
Jesus
house.
Christ.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Just stick to. You're doing eye surgery and
she's hard
33,
maxing.
You're hard maxing.
She's
How
hard
about-
maxing.
How about a year of no big decisions?
Yeah. Danielle, if you're listening, that's
Let's
some good
just chill
advice
out.
from our Latina maxed friend.
Latina maxed friend. No big decisions.
No big decisions.
Abolish Danielle Bernstein having big decisions. I think that's an interesting suggestion.
That's an
Because
interesting
you're
suggestion.
saying that she's Grasshole, she should go touch grass.
Yeah.
You're saying, you know what? Touching grass is not enough. We need you to not make any decisions.
No,
Yeah.
for a
Just
year.
exist.
Just exist for a year.
Yeah.
Just exist for a year.
I also was laughing at the prenup. I'm like, she doesn't want to give Cooper 50% of ripped off black people. I'm like, damn, you're like Cooper can't get a piece of the Asian-owned fucking skirt company.
Yeah.
He has to go culturally appropriate his own brands.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
like a real
yeah, well,
worker.
she won't even share his own likeness in real thing.
He didn't even steal a speech.
He didn't even
steal a speech. I don't see him saying shit.
Well, and as men should be, quiet.
All right. So Danielle Bernstein, for the crime of monetizing your engagement party, using affiliate links to make money off your guests, and then calling it all off and asking for privacy, we must say, go touch grass. And that's our episode.
Chandler,
you were perfect.
you were perfect. What say you about the state of America where with the both pipelines and there's something in the middle
How do you
too.
feel
How do
after
you feel?
sitting with us?
I've been sitting with us.
I've been sitting in the Latina discomfort,
Mhm.
and it's honestly so much better than either of those worlds.
Well-
This is exactly where I belong.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do think that these are it's interesting, just like the gendered kind of like spectrum, like both moving in such opposite directions, combined with like young people not knowing how to talk to each other. They have to ask AI to talk to each other and to write their speeches
Yeah.
at their weddings. And so I just think that there is like, I don't know, who is it all for? Like, it just feels like it's an increasing like performance that you think everyone else wants to see, but then no actual specific individual wants to see. And I just,
Homosocial competition.
Yeah.
right.
Or SVM Chad
Yeah.
maxing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it seems like we're all Chad maxing it because everything's we're all Chad maxing. It's all a performance, and it's sad. Like it is like kind of opposite because you have these one guys who are like, I'm gonna break my face with a hammer to get a chiseled thing so people will fuck me, and it's like
Yes.
I'm gonna post 5,000 pictures of my like wedding, my engagement before
Yes.
Yeah.
and after party, and all this shit, and like have branded monogrammed things to have the perfect color coordinate, but actually we're not gonna like talk about the actual compromises and things that are important for a wedding.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And on both sides, you're susceptible to posting a photo where you have AI generated abs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, but
There you
any of
go.
these people could have posted a photo with AI generated abs.
There we fucking go. And there we go. Chandler, speaking of AI generated abs, where can we find you? Where can users find you? Get to
See,
mog.
when you post
munch.
your AI generated abs, where would someone have to go to find
Yeah.
You
wh-
can see me and my soft max torso
Yay!
on Abolish Everything on Nebula, along with Elise and Millie.
Yes.
This season, you go to go.nebula.tv/abolish. You can get 50% off an annual subscription, gosh darn
Yes.
it. And you can follow me at Chandler J. Dean on everything.
Beautiful. And you can follow me on Instagram at Pandalise, on TikTok at Elise Navidad, and this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything.
And you can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and Millie Tamaris on Twitter. Yes, I'm there. And until next time, go touch grass! Go Touch Grass is created and hosted by Elise Morales and Millie Tamaris.
And our theme song is by Doug Wydick.
El Programa Nacional de Becas Hacer de McDonald's ha beneficiado a más de 17,000 estudiantes con más de $35 millones en becas otorgadas. Esta es una historia de generaciones de estudiantes que les mostraron a los que dudaban que podemos hacer más, porque se sabe que la educación de uno ilumina el camino para los que siguen. Esta es una historia de progreso. Y el siguiente capítulo lo escribes tú. Aprende más en mcdonalds.com/hacer.
For a small business owner, every day is full of surprises. Some great, some not so great. Like when a client cancels their order at the last minute. But here's a surprise you will like. Progressive provides small business owners with 30 customizable coverage options to help keep their business going strong. So go ahead, surprise yourself. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and third-party insurers. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Hi, neighbor. Save up to 60% on classic furniture and decor through February 17th. It's the President's Day event at Birch Lane, a Wayfair specialty brand. Get your home ready for spring with carefully crafted patio sofas, timeless outdoor dining sets, and fresh decor for every room. And the best part? It's all delivered for free in days, not weeks, just in time for your next celebration. Birch Lane, classic style for joyful living. Shop the President's Day event now through February 17th at birchlane.com.